Today on Lucky Dog, Brandon rescues Shadow, a shy Chihuahua mix content to play solitaire.
This right here is a trust issue.
But Shadow isn't the only one learning to re-engage with the world.
For the first time in my life, I find myself living alone.
In order to build new memories, it's going to take a little time and a lot of trust.
I'm Brandon McMillan, and I've dedicated my life to saving the lonely, unwanted dogs that are living without hope. My mission is to make sure these amazing animals find a purpose, a family, and a place to call home. Today, one dog will be saved and one family will have a new best friend. This is Lucky Dog.
Most of Brandon's work is based at the ranch, but some training requires a social call.
Come on, Copper.
Today, he and certified therapy dog Copper make new friends at the Meadowbrook Senior Living Center.
What do you think of Copper here? Beautiful, huh? You know, dogs have been proven to lower blood pressure and lower anxiety.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Proven fact.
But this social call is about to take a back seat to a more urgent one.
Excuse me, ladies, sorry. Hello?
Another dog is in desperate need of rescue.
I'll be right there. Well, ladies, I will see both of you next weekend.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Come on, Copper.
Bye-bye.
Come on, come on, come on.
I just got contacted by the West Valley Shelter, and they said they have a dog that they're not really sure what to label him as. They say he could be a Chihuahua mix, but whatever he is, they say he's extremely timid with new people. So I'm gonna go rescue him, show him a little TLC, and maybe I can find him a forever home.
But it may take more than TLC to break one-year-old Shadow out of his shell.
Hey, little man. You scared? Come over here. You're gonna make me come in there, aren't you? All right, you win. I'll come to you, don't worry. Come here, come here, come here, come here, I know. Timid, aren't you?
Brandon hopes a trip out of the shelter will brighten Shadow's spirits. But the car ride only raises more questions.
Okay. On the car ride home, I noticed that Shadow really didn't pick his head up the whole time. Looks like he really has no energy, no interest in much. I couldn't even get his attention.
Because Shadow was given a clean bill of health, Brandon suspects the issue is emotional.
I think he has no trust in people. A lot of these dogs, they get bounced around from shelter to shelter, and they've learned not to trust.
You're not feeling it, are you?
Once inside, Brandon tries a new tactic.
You want that? He really had no interest in anything I offered him. I was petting him. He really didn't care. He said no to food. This right here is a trust issue. You don't trust me yet, do you? Before I start any training, I have to earn his trust. I have to show him that I'm his friend, not his enemy.
Because there's no timetable on building trust, Brandon decides to forego training in favor of some good old-fashioned bonding.
One of the biggest mistakes you can do as a dog trainer is start training a dog before they have any trust in you. It might take a while, but whatever it takes, ride it out, because when you do start training, it makes everything so much easier.
While Shadow learns to re-engage with the world, Brandon takes the opportunity to line up a forever home. His search leads him to Gary, a retiree facing his own life change.
I'd like to have a dog for company. I'm 74 years old, been retired for 14 years, and I'm living alone for the first time in my life. My wife and I have been married for 50 years. 3 months ago, I found it necessary to place my wife in a memory care center as a result of Alzheimer's, and I find it pretty lonely at home.
Gary maintains an active lifestyle, filling his time with cycling and fused glass projects. But he's hoping a dog will provide extra companionship at home and on his daily walks through the retirement community.
One of the social outlets is people walking their dogs and meeting each other, and I would look forward to having Shadow do that with me.
Look.
But if Shadow is going on any outings,
Shadow,
he'll need to overcome his social anxiety.
Day after day, I would wait Shadow out. And then, out of nowhere, we had the breakthrough moment.
Hello there.
He allowed me to pick him up.
Well, thank you. Well, been waiting a long time for one of those.
With their bond officially sealed with a kiss, Shadow earns his red training collar.
Try this on. There. It's official. It's time to start training.
Having embraced life at the ranch,
Morning, guys. Morning, morning, morning.
Shadow enjoys playtime with his new pals.
Go on. Go play. Make friends. Welcome to Lucky Dog Ranch.
His future is looking bright, but there's still work to do.
Come here.
The first thing I'm going to assess with Shadow is his knowledge of the 7 common commands, which are sit, stay, down, come, off, heel, and no.
Sit. Good, that's a sit, perfect. You go down. You go down. Oh, good, that's a down.
He's got a pretty good foundation.
Yeah, a little sloppy, but not bad.
He might have been well trained and just regressed, or he might have been so-so trained. Either way, we're off to a great start.
Not only that, Brandon is impressed by Shadow's laser focus and his stellar etiquette.
Do you crawl on people? I will say one thing, you're a very well-mannered dog.
Over the next week, Brandon will refine Shadow's grasp of the common commands. But it's his trust issues that still pose the greatest challenge.
My ultimate goal now is to teach Shadow to trust anybody.
Coming up, a visit from Gary
I'd like a dog I could take over to the care center.
forces Shadow out of his comfort zone.
Things that Shadow will be exposed to are much different than everyday life. Shadow is a timid dog.
Here's a health and wellness tip from Banfield Pet Hospital. We work hard to keep our pets healthy. But did you know that owning a pet actually has health benefits? Studies have shown that having a pet can lower blood pressure, ease symptoms of depression, reduce bone loss, and increase blood circulation. Walking a dog can also help promote weight loss and keep seniors physically active.
You don't trust me yet, do you?
Shadow, the 1-year-old Chihuahua mix, has a serious case of trust issues. Though he eventually let his guard down with Brandon,
Been waiting a long time for one of those.
there's no certainty that he'll do the same for his potential owner, Gary. Luckily, Brandon knows the best way to a dog's heart is through its nose.
Dogs, they use their nose for everything. That's how they shake hands. I decided to go for an old technique. I call it positive scent association. I have the new potential owner, Gary, wear a t-shirt for a couple days. And what this does, it gets his scent all over the t-shirt.
Gary drops the shirt off at the ranch, giving Brandon some time to get to know him better.
You ever had a dog before?
You know, we had a dog when my son was smaller. He's 45 now, so it's probably been 20 years or 25 years since I've had a dog.
So why now?
I find myself in an unfortunate situation. My wife developed Alzheimer's, and about 3 months ago I found it necessary to find a placement for her. So I'm finding living alone is kind of tough. And I'd like to have a dog that I could have around the house for some comfort, and I'd like a dog I could take over to the care center.
Tell me about the memory care unit.
My wife is in a wing that has about 32 people in it. People bring in their dogs from time to time. It's interesting that that dog will connect, and the people will connect with the dog sometimes when they are not talking at all. My wife doesn't talk a lot, but she does respond to certain stimuli, and I see people bring in dogs, and small children, interestingly enough, are the two things that many of these people respond to when they're not responding to other adults.
Memory care units are unpredictable environments. A lot of moving objects, wheelchairs, walkers. Shadow is a timid dog. I can't be sure that he'll feel comfortable in that type of environment. How about your wife? Does she like dogs?
We've had pets in the past, and she always liked them. And I showed my wife the pictures that you sent me of Shadow, and she smiled. And I don't get a lot of smiles, so I'm encouraged by that.
I see how important it is to Gary to make his wife happy, so that makes it that much more important to me to pull Shadow out of his shell. The one thing I noticed about Shadow right away was he's unsure of new people. He doesn't take to them very quickly. It takes a while, and that's where this t-shirt comes in. Your scent is on that t-shirt. That when he finally meets you, he makes the connection that you are a positive person. You're the person he's supposed to be with. I'll train him in it. He can sleep with it. He can play with it. Everything I do with that t-shirt will be 100% positive. It does have its limitations. It doesn't work on every dog. The question is, will it work on Shadow?
I'm certainly hopeful it will.
When it comes to dog training, there's never any guarantees of the results. In the case of Shadow, I have to form a mutual trust between us and then transfer that trust from myself to Gary. Can that trust be transferred? That's the big question here.
Coming up, one small step for a dog, one giant leap in training.
I need to be 100% convinced that Shadow can handle himself in a situation like this.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
Shadow, the one-year-old Chihuahua mix's training has been an exercise in trust.
Good boy.
Over time, Brandon has been able to earn Shadow's confidence. But bridging the gap between Shadow and Gary will take a token of good faith.
Shadow, come on.
Dogs explore the world through their noses, so
Come here.
I had Gary come to the ranch and bring me a shirt to start the positive scent association training.
It's a t-shirt. What does it mean, right? It means nothing to you right now, but trust me. It's all gonna make sense pretty soon.
Everything Shadow does from here on out at the Lucky Dog Ranch will be with that t-shirt. Whether he's sleeping, laying, whether he's eating, this t-shirt from here on out will be the dog's everything. So when he does meet Gary, he will have a positive experience. He'll trust him.
Get comfy. Trust me, you're gonna like this t-shirt pretty soon.
But Shadow also needs to feel comfy in a completely new environment.
Now that I know that Gary wants to take Shadow to see his wife in the memory care unit, that poses a whole new group of challenges for me. Things that Shadow will be exposed to in the memory care unit are much different than everyday life. Most likely, he'll be exposed to lots of wheelchairs, lots of walkers, lots of canes. I need to be 100% convinced that Shadow can handle himself in a situation like this.
This calls for a return trip to Meadowbrook.
So first things first, I grab a cane. I'm watching him the whole time, seeing his body posture. I always say the body posture tells the story of what the dog is thinking. He doesn't even get fazed by it.
There you go. Good boy. Good.
Test 1 complete.
Okay.
So the second part of this test, I had a resident of the facility help me out. She grabbed a walker, and I had her stand about 10 feet back and simply walk towards him with the walker. I'm keeping an eye on him. What is he doing? What is he thinking? If I see any hesitation at all, I have to deal with it right now. But I see nothing. He pretty much stands his ground and simply moves out of the way as she walks by. Test 2 complete.
But the true test is about to roll in.
I've tested a lot of dogs over the years around wheelchairs, and half the dogs, they don't react very well. It's a scary object. The wheelchair moves closer, and then closer. I'm watching his body posture, keeping a close eye on the leash. Is it tightening up? Is there tension? Do I see him getting anxious? He simply stands his ground.
It's a surprising reaction for such a naturally cautious dog.
I gotta admit, Shadow made it easy for me. But there's still one more final piece of the puzzle that needs to be completed.
Okay, come on.
How's he gonna react when he meets Gary and Marcia?
Coming up, a moment of truth arrives.
It's either gonna go really well or really bad.
So Gary, what I want you to do is just put your hand out, let him sniff you.
Here's a health and wellness tip from Banfield Pet Hospital. If you're planning to introduce a new baby or pet into a household with an existing dog, then try using scent to your advantage. Bring home a blanket or piece of clothing that holds the new family member's scent and introduce it to your current canine companion. This will give your faithful friend some time to acclimate to the change, and it could result in a smoother transition. Shadow, the cautious Chihuahua mix, is slow to trust new people. But by using positive scent association, Brandon has been building Shadow's trust in new owner Gary, a man Shadow has never met.
Come here.
Throughout the week, Gary's shirt has been by Shadow's side. During training,
Good.
at dinner time, when taking naps, and even while on road trips with Brandon. But will it be enough to inspire Shadow's confidence?
Today's the day to see if all the work I've done with Shadow and the shirt has finally paid off. I'm bringing Shadow over to Gary's house so they can meet each other for the first time. And it's either gonna go really well or really bad.
Oh, Brandon, hello.
Gary.
This must be Shadow.
This is Shadow.
Usually when a family meets a dog for the first time, they can pet the dog and hug it and do whatever they want. But in the case of Shadow and Gary, it's a little bit different.
This union requires a more formal introduction.
Shadow doesn't realize that he's right in front of one of the most positive experiences he's ever had. He just has to simply make the connection between his nose and the scent.
So Gary, what I want you to do is just put your hand out, let him sniff you. He needs to recognize your scent. It's gonna click in any minute.
He knows your scent. He's been smelling it for a long time now. He just has to make the connection. At first, Shadow was simply looking at me. He wasn't relying on his nose.
And then, the moment of recognition.
Hey there.
Shadow turned around and started kissing Gary right on the nose.
He did seem to recognize me, so I was excited about that. Good boy.
What took me a long time to gain Shadow's trust, it took Gary only minutes. Bet you didn't think a shirt could do that, huh?
I had no idea. No idea.
That's the power of a dog's nose.
With their bond officially sealed, Shadow upgrades to his green collar.
You want this?
You want this? Come here.
Get this off. There. You could be wearing that for quite a while. Don't worry, Gary. I didn't forget about you either.
Oh, my shirt.
It wasn't my size. You know what that is, huh, Shadow?
What's that, huh?
Yeah, you definitely know what that is.
Huh?
He's all yours now.
Right.
You want to go introduce him to your wife?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Come on.
Coming up, new memories are made when Lucky Dog returns.
Marcia, look at here.
Over the last week, Brandon has been working to overcome Shadow's lifetime of trust issues. He gave Gary his seal of approval, but there's still one connection he's yet to make.
Now that Shadow and Gary have bonded, it was time to go see Gary's wife.
Marcia, look at here. For the last few months, my wife's been very cautious around dogs, but she seemed relaxed with Shadow in her lap. What do you think of this, huh? Do you like holding the puppy?
When Gary placed Shadow in her lap, instantly she reached out and touched him, and that made Gary really happy.
Animals seem to relax people a lot, and I'm confident that that will continue to be the case with Marcia. She seemed really pleased.
So what do you think, Gary? You could take it from here?
I'm sure I can. I'm really excited about this puppy.
Well, Shadow, this is it. You look nice and comfortable, so I think I'll say a quick goodbye. See you later, Shadow. Take care, buddy. Take care of him, Gary.
Thank you, thank you.
Bye, Marcia. I might have been the first person in Shadow's life that he truly trusted. And through me, I could be the bridge and show him that everybody else in the world can be trusted too. Now Gary is that bridge.
And together, they'll make new memories.
Oh, Shadow's delightful. My life will really be different now that I have Shadow.
From hopeless to a home. That's my mission. One dog at a time.
Today on Lucky Dog,
Hi, are you a senior?
a Doberman mix in her golden years gets a golden opportunity.
I want to adopt a senior dog because I work with a dog rescue and I just see how many senior dogs get overlooked.
But
What are you doing up there?
can Cora shed a lifetime of bad habits
She is a terrible jumper.
to make room for new talents?
I'm Brandon McMillan, and I've dedicated my life to saving the lonely, unwanted dogs that are living without hope. My mission is to make sure these amazing animals find a purpose, a family, and a place to call home. Today, one dog will be saved and one family will have a new best friend. This is Lucky Dog.
One of my favorite ways to network is to go to pet adoptions. You really get a sense of the dog's personality in a cage-free environment. It's a great way to find a pet, and it's also a great way to find potential owners.
Uniting loving owners with deserving rescue dogs is Brandon's mission in life.
That's a down. Perfect.
And today, he's about to face a daunting new challenge. Finding a home for a senior dog.
Come on. Let's get you back over the adoption tent and get you a home. Come on. Come on. Come on.
But before making this rescue, a little bit of sniffing around leads Brandon to hear about one of the volunteers who might be a perfect match.
Hi, baby.
Are you Nikki?
Hey, I am.
Hi, I'm Brandon.
Hey, nice to meet you.
I heard you were looking for a senior dog. Is that true?
Yes, I am.
I just got contacted by the shelter, and they said they have a really good senior dog.
Yeah?
What kind of personality traits are you looking for?
I want a dog that I can bring with me to work, to friends' houses, and I have a lot of friends with kids and other dogs, and just sort of a dog that I can have any and everywhere.
You want them to be active?
Yeah, I'd love to have an active dog. I live at the beach and I'm always outside running around playing volleyball, paddleboarding, everything. So yeah, I'd love a dog I can do all my activities with as well.
All right, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna head to the shelter right now and check her out. If she's a good match, maybe I'll call you. Do you have a business card?
Yeah, you bet. Hold on. There you go.
All right, perfect.
Thank you.
You never know, it might be a good match. She's 8 years old, so I'm gonna go to the shelter right now and check her out.
Waiting to greet Brandon is Cora.
Oh, thank you. I know. Are you a senior?
All right, let me come in there. Let me say hi to you.
Though little is known about Cora's history, her infectious spirit is undeniable.
I get it. I get it. We're friends already.
That didn't take long. I'll tell you what, I'll make you a deal. We keep being friends, and I'll take you out of here. Come here. Let me see. Let me have a look at you. You're too old to be in that shelter. I'm gonna make sure you never end up there again. First step in that process. I gotta get you trained. Here, try this on. No, come here. It's okay. There you go. There you go. Morning, everyone. Morning, morning, morning. Go on. Go play. Make friends. Make friends. You're gonna like it here. Welcome to the Lucky Dog Ranch. Now Cora's settled in at the ranch, it's time to assess her training, see what she knows. So I'm gonna run her through her knowledge of the 7 common commands, which are sit, stay, down, come, off, heel, and no. So the first thing I do with her is put her on a sit. Come here. Can you sit? Look at you. And she sits faster than any dog I've ever seen. And you're older, experienced, aren't you?
Cora's off to a strong start.
Can you go down? Yeah, you're almost there. You're almost there. Looks like someone taught you, but you're not great at it. How's your
But
stay?
soon her assessment hits a few speed bumps.
How's your stay? First I say stay, and she just blows it right away. And so again, I set her up. I say stay, a little stronger, and again, she stays for a half a second, and then just walks right up to me. Nope. Third time, she actually stayed. I was like, okay, we're off to a pretty good start here. Fourth time, she blew it. Fifth time, she stayed again.
I'm like, something's not working here. Give me a sit.
Inconsistency seems to be the name of the game.
Give me a stay.
She's perfect at some commands and sloppy at others, and some she doesn't even know at all. This dog is all over the place.
But a more annoying behavior is leaping to the top of Cora's training list.
She is a terrible jumper.
There's the jumping again.
You can tell with Cora, this is an old habit that was never trained. What happens with a lot of people when they have a puppy, they think it's cute when the puppy jumps on them. And little do they know, they're reinforcing the behavior. Well, in the case of Cora, it's not a cute habit anymore. Now it's a bad habit. So I have to correct this behavior right now.
Brandon runs Cora's leash through an eye bolt.
It gives me a pulley system. Now I have control of her. If she starts to jump, the leash will do the work. And after a few minutes, she has no interest in jumping on me. But she's still on leash, and she's still on the pedestal. And what I do is I put her on a sit, and I step on the leash, just enough to where she actually has a little bit of slack where she can start jumping. And instantly, she tries to jump. And she learns by trial and error. The leash is going to stop her in her tracks.
When Cora shows no interest in jumping, Brandon removes his foot from the leash and tests her again.
You sure you don't want to jump? You positive? Good, good, good.
Though this habit seems to be broken, some baggage is harder to shed.
There's something that really stood out to me with Cora. After I rewarded her for a behavior, I pet her on the head, and I noticed as I was petting her, she was really wincing her eyes. It raised a red flag right away. I had a feeling that Cora had had a few dark days in her past.
To confirm his hunch, Brandon tests Cora for abuse.
I just simply lifted my hand in the air.
Yeah, it's okay.
Instantly, she winced her eyes, dropped her whole body. Dogs that have never been hit don't know what that means. They don't react like that.
Cora's past will require special consideration.
I have to be very sensitive to the fact that somebody not only trained her wrong in the past, but treated her wrong.
Come here. It's all right.
It's not gonna happen here, don't worry. I just had to know. Cora had a dark past, but that doesn't mean she can't have a bright future.
Coming up.
Hey, Brandon. Hey. My favorite thing is paddleboarding.
Wouldn't that be awesome if I could train her a dog to stand up paddleboard with her?
Here's a health and wellness tip from Banfield Pet Hospital. Osteoarthritis is a joint disease that causes painful inflammation and swelling in aging pets. But it can be managed if you follow these steps. Watch your pet's weight. Consider a specialized diet. And make sure your pet gets daily exercise. If you think your pet is showing signs of osteoarthritis, schedule an appointment with your veterinarian.
Come on. One step at a time.
Day 2 at the ranch, and Cora, the 8-year-old Dobie mix, is getting a jump start on her training.
Yesterday, I found out Cora has a really bad habit of jumping. So I trained the off command with her, but today I'm gonna see if it's stuck.
You gonna jump? No? No? You sure? I'm giving you every opportunity to jump.
She's a smart girl. She learned.
Now that Cora has all 4 paws firmly planted on the ground, Brandon moves on to another important command.
See that? No. No. No.
She's never been taught the meaning of the word no.
Okay.
And the word no is vital for every dog to learn. Now, I have to be really careful when teaching her this command because yesterday I found out that it looks like Cora has had a past history of abuse. I don't want to yell this command at her.
No.
I don't want to even be too stern. I almost want to make it a fun command where she grasps the concepts. I know. That's not going to get it. That's not going to get it, though.
Okay. There we go. That's enough. That's enough. I think you got it.
It's a fruitful day. Not only has Brandon gotten a no out of Cora, he's gotten a yes out of Nikki.
I sent Nikki photos of Cora, and she really responded. So today I'm going to Nikki's place to sit down with her and get to know her a little better.
Hey, Brandon.
Hey, how are you?
Nice to see you.
You
Come
too.
on out back and we'll chat.
Okay. So how long you been here?
About 7.5 years.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You like it?
Yep. Love it. The beach is my haven. This is where I want to be. I probably won't ever move.
So what's everyday life like around here?
I do a lot of activities at the beach, run, play beach volleyball, ride my bike, and my favorite thing is paddleboarding.
So why an older dog?
You know, I've been volunteering with Dog Rescue, Rover Rescue for over 12 years, and I just feel like those dogs are the ones that get passed up the most, and just my heart kind of goes out to them.
It's great she wants to adopt a senior dog. People have this impression that senior dogs are damaged goods, when the reality is senior dogs often come with far less problems than a puppy.
I don't feel like any dog should really be alone in their last years. This hits really close to home for me because my mother, she passed away from cancer not that long ago, and I was able to be with her in her last few days and weeks. I'm kind of doing this in honor of my mother, like being there for another being in their last few years might scare somebody, but for me, it's just more meaningful.
With a dog or anybody, it's not about the number of years, it's about the quality of the years.
So.
Nikki is perfect, and her selflessness sparks new inspiration in Brandon.
She lives right by the beach, and she loves stand-up paddleboarding. When she told me this, the first thing that clicked in my head was, wouldn't that be awesome if I could train her a dog to stand-up paddleboard with her? Normally, I wouldn't even think about training most dogs for stand-up paddleboarding, especially a senior dog. But Cora is much different. She has a heavy work drive. She's eager to please. This will be the classic case of answering the age-old question, can you teach an old dog new tricks?
Coming up, Cora shows off her surfing skills in the kitchen.
What are you doing up there? I see we have more work to do on you.
Like many older rescue dogs, Cora has her fair share of bad habits. And today, she's about to reveal another.
I had one of my volunteers cutting up some treats for the day, and I walked in the room and I saw Cora putting her paws on the countertop and just having a feast. What are you doing up there? This is a big problem. We call it counter surfing. So I decided to fix the issue right there.
Once again, Brandon utilizes the pulley system.
I set a very large piece of plywood on the floor, and I put an eye bolt through it. I run a lunge line through the eye bolt. Time for you to learn something.
Brandon baits the countertop, then sits back and waits for Cora to make her move.
Off, off. I simply say the word off, and I pull back. Off, off, off.
Eventually, Cora loses interest. But Brandon is hoping she'll be able to channel those surfing skills in a new direction.
Now that I found out that Nikki is an avid paddleboarder, I want to surprise her. I want to teach Cora to paddleboard as well. Today, I'm taking Cora to the Canine Gym and Rehabilitation Center to teach her the basic fundamentals of paddleboarding. The first thing I want to do is just get her used to the board. So I put the board on the ground and I put a couple treats on the board. And she actually runs up there right away.
Good, good, good.
From there, I decided to go a little more advanced. So I picked the board up, now I put it right by the pool. And I put her back on top of the board and I rock it slowly.
Just a little bit of rocking motion, see?
As I'm doing this, I'm holding her on the leash and I'm feeding her a couple treats. This calms her nerve.
There it is. Good, 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 good. There you go.
She understands the rocks are not going to hurt her. It's just the way the board moves.
Nothing frightens you, huh?
But now comes the real test.
The next step in the process was to put the board in the pool.
Brandon starts off by securing the board to the edge of the pool.
The worst thing I could do is put that board free-floating in the pool, so if she stepped on it, it would instantly slide away. Then it would become a negative experience.
There you go. Look at that. Nice. All the way. All the way. Good. There you get one of these. Good. Good.
Once Cora gets stable, Brandon guides the board through the water.
This is the trickiest part to teach her, because I have to teach her not to fight the water, but go with it. She has to feel the rocks, feel the motion.
Now watch. We're going to turn. We're going to turn. See?
Today I like what I saw, but it's time to take it to the next level. I'm going to take her to a marina. This will be the ultimate test to see if she's a natural paddleboarder.
Come on. Come on.
Coming up, Cora hangs 10 when Lucky Dog returns. Here's a health and wellness tip from Banfield Pet Hospital. Dogs love the beach, but not all of them are strong swimmers. Senior dogs, small breeds, and dogs with short noses or double coats are considered especially high-risk swimmers. If you plan on enjoying the water with your dog, consider using a life vest or flotation device to ensure their safety. Cora, the 8-year-old Dobie mix, is learning how to hang 10, or in her case, 20.
Cora did great at the pool, but that's a very controlled environment. Now it's time to take it up another level. I'm taking her to a lake, which is an open water environment, a lot more elements to deal with. And to top it all off, we're gonna be on the board together. This will be her ultimate test. If she can prove to me that she can handle this, she's ready to go paddleboarding with Nikki.
Brandon starts by securing the board to the dock.
And as I was stabilizing the board, she just decides to jump right on the board. That told me everything. It told me that she's a little adventure seeker. She wanted to do this. She wants to have fun. So, paddleboarding we go.
Before they push off, Brandon puts Cora through a quick review.
I rocked the board a little bit, and it didn't even faze her. She stood her ground. So, that's it. We set sail. I started paddling the board right to the middle of the lake. I was doing very slow paddles, watching her the whole time, seeing what her body language is. Again, I don't want her to be afraid of this. And then when the moment was right, I decided to stand up. And as I start standing up, the board starts wobbling. Instantly, Cora dropped her body posture. She corrected herself. That told me everything I needed to know right there. Cora understands the whole theory of stabilizing herself now.
While some dogs master the doggy paddle, few get a chance at the paddleboard. And for Cora, the helm is exactly where she was born to be.
I could tell she loved it for two reasons. Number one, the smile on her face, and number two, the wag on her tail. The best part about this whole scenario, it wasn't the paddleboarding. It was the fact that when we got back to the dock, she literally tackled me with kisses. That right there showed her gratitude. That made me happy.
Was that fun?
In fact, it made me so happy that I gave her green collar. Come on. You got a new mom waiting for you. Come on.
Coming up.
So last time I was here, you told me about your love for paddleboarding.
No way.
One week ago, 8-year-old Cora watched the world through the bars of a cage. Today, she's upgrading to an ocean view.
Come on, this way.
Somebody wants to meet you.
Oh my gosh, Cora, come on in.
Come here, Cora.
Hi, baby. Welcome home.
Brandon walked in with Cora, and I instantly fell in love. She's just so sweet, and she climbed right into my lap and gave me kisses. I know my mom would have loved her.
Can you sit for me?
Good girl. Oh, she's so sweet.
Yeah, she's such a lover. Did you go shopping for her?
Well, actually, my friends had a puppy shower, which is kind of a new thing. Yes, they had a puppy shower for me, and so Cora has all these new toys.
So last time I was here, you told me about your love for paddleboarding. I got a surprise for you.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Look at you.
She's a little surfer girl.
And she's smiling. I had no idea that she could do that. It was totally unexpected. So she'll just get right on the
She
board?
hops right on and doesn't want to hop off. Actually, getting her off the board is the hardest part.
Really? So will she do that with me?
Of course she will.
Yeah?
Yeah? You want to try?
I would love to try.
Get your board.
All right, let's do it. Oh my God.
Good girl. Down at the beach, Nikki and Cora set sail on their very first adventure.
It was amazing. I had no expectation that she'd be able to do that with me, and it was so cool having my little buddy that I'm cruising around with. And I cannot wait to do it again. I mean, it was this dream come true having her be out there on the water with me. Really cool.
Goodbyes are always tough, but it's easier knowing that Cora's golden years will be just that. Golden.
What Nikki did for Cora was a perfect tribute to her mother. She took a dog that had basically days to live, and now she has an entire life ahead of her.
From hopeless to a home. That's my mission. One dog at a time.
Today on Lucky Dog, we're blasting off as Brandon rescues Pluto,
Easy there, buddy.
a Tibetan terrier mix with out-of-this-world energy. For this family, he could be exactly what the doctor ordered.
The doctor wrote us a prescription right there to get a dog.
But
Hey, is that the kind of manners you have in a house?
will Pluto's marking habit ground the adoption process before it can launch?
I can't make any promises.
I'm Brandon McMillan, and I've dedicated my life to saving the lonely, unwanted dogs that are living without hope. My mission is to make sure these amazing animals find a purpose, a family, and a place to call home. Today, one dog will be saved and one family will have a new best friend. This is Lucky Dog.
Come on. Good girl. Good.
Regular exercise is important in maintaining a dog's health. To ensure Roxy, a 1-year-old lab mix, stays in prime shape, Brandon takes her on a morning stroll.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
But Brandon's day is about to get a lot more active.
All right, Roxy. Come on, we gotta go.
I'm headed down to the West Valley shelter to go rescue what they say looks like a Tibetan terrier mix. They said they found him wandering the streets, and when they finally caught up to him, they realized that he was in pretty bad condition. His hair is so knotted and dreaded up, it needs to be shaved completely down. So this guy might have been on the streets for quite some time.
Hey, you.
3-year-old Pluto is the face of neglect.
Hey, what happened to you, huh? Someone doesn't know how to take care of you, huh?
You probably never had a bath in your life, have you?
I can't even tell where your ears are. That's how bad you are. It's all just dreadlocks.
But Brandon knows Pluto's scruffy exterior is only cosmetic.
He's really uncomfortable right now, so we're not going to the ranch. We're going straight to the groomers.
Hi, Brandon. Nice to see you.
You too.
What have you brought me now?
Just pulled this guy from the shelter, and as you can see, he's in pretty bad shape.
Oh, poor guy.
So what do you think? You up for the challenge?
I'm up for the challenge. He looks definitely like a diamond in the rough.
When Pluto came into us today, he was severely matted. It breaks my heart to see dogs come in this type of condition.
But that doesn't stop Janelle from working her magic.
I'm gonna make Pluto look like a superstar.
You ready for a bath?
All right, Brandon, he's all done.
Oh, wow. I think I recognize you, but not really. Wow.
To complete the look, Brandon caps off Pluto's makeover with a final accessory, a red training collar.
Come on, come on, come on. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We'll see you next time.
All right.
Come on.
A fresh new do is just what the doctor ordered. But down in San Diego, the Cotter family is embracing a different kind of prescription.
I'm Colleen. I live in San Diego, California with my husband David and my twin boys, Finn and Max. Finn is incredibly laid back. I used to call him my Buddha baby. Max is completely the other direction. But we call him the supervisor. Max is very concerned about things. Everything that he encounters, he really internalizes.
But when Max's empathy grew into anxiety, Colleen knew it was time to take action.
We called our pediatrician to ask for some advice. We're hoping for a solution that wouldn't involve a lot of medication.
What they got was an out-of-the-box suggestion.
Have you ever thought about getting a dog for them? Dogs are very helpful with kids and adults when it comes to anxiety, depression. I'd be very happy to write a prescription and see if that works for you guys.
So he wrote us a prescription right there to get a dog, and that was a really great solution for us.
Thank you so much.
Take good care, guys.
Come here. Come here. Slow it down. Slow it down. Slow it down. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. There you go. You're free. Welcome to Lucky Dog Ranch. Go on.
Pluto's outgoing personality makes him the perfect playmate. But his gravity-defying energy
Easy there, buddy. Easy, easy.
poses the greatest challenge in training.
This dog had way too much energy, and that's probably a testament to him getting groomed. This was probably the first time in his life he felt this good.
Slow it down, slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. First gear, neutral, anything, park.
I can't start training until I deplete some of that energy. The best way to do that is with exercise.
What do you say we go for a little hike, huh? Yeah, you want that? Yeah. Come on.
Come on. And to the hills we go. 9 times out of 10, the underlying cause of a dog's bad behavior is too much energy. Thousands of people contact me, tell me about their dogs. They say, my dog won't listen. It doesn't listen to a word I say. I trained him, I this and that. And I meet their dog, and the dog is running around the house, running around the yard. I say, your dog doesn't need to be trained. Your dog needs to be exercised.
Luckily, Pluto is reaching the end of his gas tank.
It took a while, but eventually he just plopped down, and that was it.
Finally tired, huh? Mission accomplished. All right, come on. Let's get back to the ranch and start training. Come on, come on.
Now he's calm. It's time to assess his knowledge of the 7 common commands, which are sit, stay, down, come, off, heel, and no. So I went ahead and asked him to sit, and he sits right away. And I'm like, oh, bingo, this is gonna be easy. And then I tell him to stay, and yeah, not so easy.
Give me a come.
Other than a come,
You like that one. That means you get to run.
Pluto has little training, but that'll need to wait for another day.
It's getting late. I'm tired. You're tired. We'll start training tomorrow. Come on.
Coming up,
Whoa. Hey, what was that?
Brandon discovers one of Pluto's less than stellar instincts.
Nobody wants a marking dog.
I'm gonna take care of that one.
Here's a health and wellness tip from Banfield Pet Hospital. Grooming is important for maintaining your dog's appearance, but it's also essential for overall health. Knotted hair can pull at your dog's skin, causing pain and irritation. It can also harbor dirt and parasites. So remember, maintaining proper grooming ensures a healthy coat and a happy dog. Newton's law suggests a body in motion tends to stay in motion. Such is the case with Pluto. Before each training session, Brandon works off Pluto's excessive energy on the hiking trail. But hot days require creative solutions.
People always ask, what's the point of teaching your dog to run on a treadmill? Or if you live in a place like the Northeast or the upper Midwest, where there's ice storms and you can't take your dog out for several days at a time. Or in the case of where I'm at in Southern California, the summers can reach triple digits every day. So a treadmill is a great way to exercise your dog.
All right, you ready? It's very simple.
Brandon acclimates Pluto by offering him treats and connects his harness to the treadmill using 2 leashes.
The worst thing I could do is just simply turn it on and let him start going. It's gonna freak him out. So I push start and stop right away.
There you go. There you go. Good, 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 good. Look at that.
Once Pluto gets used to the sensation, Brandon adds time.
Good, 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 good.
It's 10 seconds, and then 20. And within a few minutes, I had Pluto moving at a nice, steady speed.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Nice, nice. Look at that. Huh? Already a pro.
Pluto is hitting his stride.
Good, good.
He's also hitting his marks.
For the past few days, I've looked around the house, and I noticed there's a few markings here and there. But I have my suspicions that it's Pluto.
Correcting the behavior entails catching Pluto in the act. So Brandon brings Pluto inside and lets him sniff around.
Within a few minutes, lo and behold, he lifts his leg, and boom, gotcha. Caught you, yellow pod.
Whoa, hey, what was that? Is that you, huh? Is that the kind of manners you have in a house?
To a dog, marking is 100% natural behavior outside. When they bring that territory marking indoors, now it becomes a bad habit.
And alleviating it will require a bit of reverse psychology.
I take the leash and I tie it around the leg of the table right where he marked. And I leave just enough slack where he can stand up and lie down only. So if he wants to mark that area, if he likes it so much, now he gets to stand next to it
There. Why don't you take some time and think about that?
Pluto's behavior earns him a 20-minute timeout.
You learn your lesson? Yeah, it's no fun, huh?
But old habits die hard.
About 15 minutes later, lo and behold, Pluto once again lifts his leg.
Congratulations, you burned another one.
So, once again, I repeat the process. 20 more minutes tethered.
It's clear this little habit is becoming a big problem.
Pluto needs to learn this, and learn this right now. Otherwise, I don't feel comfortable giving him to his new family.
Coming up,
I work in real estate.
a new challenge threatens to send Pluto's training spinning out of orbit.
So let me get this straight. You plan on taking him to these open houses?
Yes.
And a heel. There we go. Nice and smooth. Look at that. Perfect. 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 Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Perfect.
Pluto, the 3-year-old Tibetan Terrier mix, is turning into a star pupil.
And a heel. There we go.
His success is largely due to his daily workouts, which drain his excessive energy and get him focused. But after today's session, Brandon takes his own hike down to San Diego.
Today I'm visiting the Cora family to see if they're a good match for Pluto.
Hi, Brandon.
Hey, how are you?
Great. Come on in. Everybody's playing out back.
Hi.
Hi.
David.
Brandon, how are you? Hey,
Good.
boys.
This is Finn, and this is Max.
Have they ever had a dog?
No, just
First one, huh?
Yes.
So why do you want a dog now?
Primarily for Max. He's always been a really passionate kid, and lately he's had trouble with biting his nails and also not sleeping very well. So we reached out to the pediatrician, and one of the really interesting things he suggested was a dog, because when our friend comes over with her dog, Max is really relaxed.
Pluto's a very sweet dog with kids, so we're off to a really good start. And then Colleen hit me with a curveball.
I work in real estate. When we're at our open houses, we've noticed if someone comes up to you and says, "Can I help you?" a lot of times people are like, "Nope, I'm just looking, I'm just looking." Whereas when we've had a dog visit our open houses, it just melts away a lot of that tension.
The icebreaker.
It is the icebreaker.
So let me get this straight. You plan on taking him to these open houses?
Yes,
How many do you have a week?
we have usually 4 a week.
I'm gonna bring this up right now because there's a potential problem that I saw with Pluto at the ranch. He's got a bad marking problem. Marking is a dog's way of saying, "This is my territory." So the more new environments Pluto encounters, the more he'll be compelled to mark. Here's the reality of the situation. I can guarantee you that he won't be marking in your house, but in all these open houses, I can't make any promises.
Because it's a new environment.
It's gonna be multiple new environments, week after week.
I'm really looking for a dog that's going to partner with me. If Pluto's marking issue continued, that would be a deal breaker for us.
I'm not gonna make any promises here, but I'll try my best.
Thanks. Thank you, Brandon.
Coming up,
Uh-oh, carpet.
he's been pre-approved by Brandon.
Yeah, I see you sniffing.
But is Pluto in danger of defaulting on the deal?
We are looking at a property that's close to the $2 million range. So I'm a little bit nervous about Pluto.
Here's a health and wellness tip from Banfield Pet Hospital. Daily exercise is vital for every dog, but the amount of activity needed depends on your pet's age. Most adult dogs should exercise twice a day for at least 30 minutes to stay fit, whereas puppies should get 5 minutes of activity for every month of age during their twice daily workouts. So a 3-month-old puppy needs 15 minutes of exercise twice a day to maintain optimal health.
Okay, go on.
Pluto, the 3-year-old Tibetan Terrier mix, has mastered the great outdoors. But it's his indoor skills that need the most work.
For the past few days, Pluto's been getting a crash course in mark training, or as I like to call it, mark busting. A dog marking in anyone's home is unacceptable, but where Pluto's going, it's especially vital because Colleen is a real estate agent. She plans on taking Pluto to all these open houses. If Pluto has a bad marking problem, he's gonna ruin deals for her left and right.
Luckily, after a few days of reinforcement, Pluto seems to be seeing the error of his ways.
He's doing well with me in the room. The real question is, can I trust him to be left alone? To truly find out, I'm gonna step outside with a monitor. Right away, it's party time for a dog. So he grabs a few toys and starts playing with them, jumping on the couch, running all over. Next thing you know, he goes to an area that he marked a few days earlier, and he starts sniffing it. When a dog marks an area once, you guarantee they're gonna mark it twice. And he just walks away from it. I'm like, wow, check mark, good for you.
To Brandon's surprise, Pluto remains on his best behavior.
2 hours came and went, and he did not mark once. Hey, come here. Pluto did a great job. He passed the test here at the Lucky Dog Ranch. But the real test is to see how he'll do at Colleen's open house. Today is the ultimate test for Pluto. I'm taking him to one of Colleen's open houses to see how he does. If Pluto could handle this house, he can handle any house.
Thank you for coming.
Somebody wants to meet you.
He's so cute. I can't wait to bring him back to my house and have my family play with him.
But before that can happen, Pluto must prove he can close the deal.
Are the clients arriving soon?
Oh, it should be any moment now.
All right, I'll tell you what. Let me show him around the house.
Okay,
And let the
okay.
test begin.
Perfect. I'm a little bit nervous about Pluto because we are looking at a property that's close to the $2 million range. So we've got a certain clientele that we've invited to this open house.
Go on, have a sniff everywhere, explore. All kinds of stuff to mark on. You better not do it.
It isn't long before Pluto's test hits critical mass.
Uh-oh, carpet, the game changer. As we walk into the master bedroom, I noticed the floor had a lot of evidence of another dog that was once here. Yeah, I see you sniffing. If there's one reason a dog will ever mark, it's to mark over another dog's old marking.
Coming up, does Pluto have what it takes to pass his real estate exam?
If his bad habit's gonna come back anywhere, it's gonna come back right here. Go on, have a sniff, explore.
Pluto, the 3-year-old Tibetan terrier mix, is a real estate aficionado. He's been marking territory since he moved into Lucky Dog Ranch. But today, he has to prove he's got curb appeal.
I noticed the floor had a lot of evidence of another dog that was once here. If there's one reason a dog will ever mark, it's to mark over another dog's old marking. Come here. So I showed Pluto the area. What is that? Someone that looked just like you did that. Just because they do it doesn't mean you have to. And he had every opportunity to show his old bad habits, but he moved on.
To Brandon's relief, Pluto shows remarkable restraint. But can he engage the clientele?
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
My dog Pluto is here.
Hi, Pluto.
He is very friendly.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he's super friendly.
Hi there, honey. Oh, he's so sweet.
Isn't he?
Does he come with the house?
As the day went on, Colleen showed new potential buyers the house, and Pluto tagged along like he owned the place.
By the end of the day, everyone seems delighted by Pluto's charms. Most importantly, Colleen.
I thought he was great. He really came up to a lot of the people and they felt at ease, and that's exactly what I was hoping for. He's a great partner.
And most importantly, I didn't see him mark once.
That's awesome.
I'm so happy. I think he gets one of these.
So he's graduating. Fantastic.
He is graduating.
Fantastic.
Having passed his real estate exam, Pluto is now ready for his own home.
You want to go introduce him to the rest of the family?
Yes, and the boys will be so excited. I can't wait to see their expressions. I think it's going to be magical. Here he is. Here he is. Hello. That is awesome. Come on, say hi to Pluto.
It's a special moment, especially for Max.
He shared his favorite doll with Pluto. He's excited. He likes those toys. Sharing that with Pluto is a big deal, and I think they're going to be really close buddies.
You know what I think he wants to do is go play in the yard. He's got energy. He wants to go see that big backyard of yours.
Let's go.
Come on, Pluto. That's your yard, Pluto.
Let him
You
smell
got plenty
everything.
of it.
While Pluto sniffs out his future, Brandon takes one last opportunity to remind the Cotters of his past.
Look at this.
Wow, look at that.
This right here was covering him when I first pulled him out of the shelter. So this is past life, and he'll never have to worry about that again.
It made me really sad to think that someone would let their dog deteriorate to that point. It broke my heart.
I never want Pluto to look like that again, and the family promised me that he never would. Well, he's all yours.
All right, thank you so much.
Oh, we're so happy. Thank you so much, Brendan.
Stay out of trouble, Pluto. Take care of him, guys.
Thank you.
Whenever I pull any dog out of the shelter, the dog always goes through a huge transformation. In the case of Pluto, he not only went through behavior and training, but he went through a physical transformation. A simple grooming and a whole lot of exercise made all the difference. And now, he's the perfect dog, the perfect family.
From hopeless to a home. That's my mission. One dog at a time.
Today on Lucky Dog, a bonded pair is stuck in the shelter and running out of time.
You have 2 senior dogs, one's not doing well, and time is of the essence.
It'll be a challenge to find a family that will take both dogs together.
Typically, there's not a lot of people interested in older dogs, especially 2.
But with a lot of love, patience, and perseverance, Sydney and Thor might just find their perfect home.
We saw how important it was to have 2 dogs, and it's left a vacuum.
I'm Eric Weesey, and this is my wife, Rashi. And we've dedicated our lives to saving the lonely, unwanted dogs that are living without hope. Our mission is to make sure that these amazing animals find a purpose, a family, and a place to call home. Today, 1 dog will be saved, and 1 family will have a new best friend. This is Lucky Dog.
Presented by Cosequin Joint Health Supplements. Today, Eric and Rashi are in Smithtown, New York, visiting with Air Force veteran and volunteer fire department captain David Day, who is joined by his service dog, Twig.
Thank you so much for sitting down with us. Wanted to get a little bit of history on how you acquired Twig.
Back in December of 2016, I was in a pretty catastrophic car accident. At some point in the drive, I became unconscious. They don't know if I fell asleep or passed out. So I rear-ended a semi while my car was going 62 miles an hour. I did massive damage to the entire left side of my body. Obviously, I have the amputations of the arm. They almost had to amputate my leg. A lot of facial trauma. It was a long recovery period.
David now has mobility issues, which Twig helps him with.
He can retrieve items for me. He can get my phone. If I'm carrying stuff with my only hand, he can open doors. He can activate an emergency button and get help. Probably the biggest benefit I get from him is that constant companion, the constant love, and just the melting of stress every day.
Seeing what Twig was trained for has just been incredible.
David received Twig from America's Vet Dogs, a nonprofit organization that trains and places service dogs with disabled veterans and first responders.
It's actually a multi-phase process. So when the puppies leave here, they go out to our 12 prison partners, and the puppies work with the inmates, building those core competencies of push, pull, and retrieve. When the dogs are recalled at approximately 15 months of age to our campus here in Smithtown, then our professional instructors take those core skills and turn them into the advanced things that somebody's going to need to help them mitigate their disability.
Recipients then spend 2 weeks on campus learning how to work with their new service dog. This life-changing service is possible because of donors, volunteers, and sponsors like Nutramax Laboratories.
Nutramax provides program graduates with joint health supplements for their dogs free of charge. It's just so important that we give back to those who are willing to sacrifice for us. And joint health is so important for service dogs because they are doing a lot of tasks that could put strain on those joints.
It really does help these dogs, and our students are extremely grateful for that.
Dave, it was a pleasure meeting you. Thank you so much for showing us everything that Twig can do. And Twig, I hope we see you again, man.
Do you want to say goodbye?
Oh.
Bye, Twig.
Bye, Twig.
Nice meeting you guys.
Yeah, you as well.
Take care.
Bye.
As the day wraps up, Rashi receives a text message from a shelter back in California.
Oh wow, this is a unique situation. They have a bonded pair that's available. A dog named Sydney, she's 7 years old. She's about 6 pounds. She's a terrier Chihuahua mix.
Oh.
And they also have Thor. It's very cute.
That's a good name.
He's also 7 years old. And they mentioned that Sydney was labeled by the shelter as very skittish.
You have 2 senior dogs, one's not doing well, and time is of the essence, so as soon as we get back to LA, we're gonna get these dogs out of the shelter.
Once Eric and Rashi are back in Los Angeles, they head to the shelter.
Oh, there they are.
Oh, hey.
Sydney and Thor are excited to have visitors.
Let's get you out of here, okay?
And even more eager to be rescued. They each get their own escort out of the shelter. Back at the ranch, this diminutive duo receives the deluxe spa package, which includes a nice warm bath.
There we go. Get dried off and then I got something for you, okay?
The bonded pair also receive matching collars, complete with bronze training medals.
Good job, guys. Okay, let's go.
Eric brings Sydney and Thor out to the empty training yard to let them explore.
Come on.
The two seem to enjoy their new surroundings.
I know.
And Rashi comes out to join in on the fun. As the dogs begin to feel more relaxed, their personalities start to emerge.
Hi.
Thor is very energetic and playful. Sydney is more laid back and enjoys belly rubs. It's clear that the two will bring a lot of life and love into their new home. And they might be exactly what one retired couple in San Diego, California is looking for.
My name is Tony. I'm married to Patricia. We've been married for over 21 years now. I used to work for the federal government with the Indian Health Service. We kept track of the health status of the Native American population.
Before I retired, I was working for the federal government as a biostatistician, taking care of health statistics of the Native American population in our country.
Tony and Patricia like to stay active by walking and traveling. Patricia enjoys making ceramics, playing the piano, and doing yoga. Tony spends his free time gardening, reading, and volunteering at a museum. They previously had two dogs that became best friends.
You know, they did everything together, and we had a big backyard, and they'd be racing in that backyard and having fun together, and we saw how important it was to have two dogs.
Sadly, both Gus and Louie have passed away, and their absence has left a void.
Took us a while to get over the passing of our last dog, but we feel now is a good time. We need that companionship.
Tony and Patricia are hoping to rescue a bonded pair.
For us, it's just that much more fun and that much more life in the house. It's a good thing.
Before Eric can determine if Sydney and Thor are the right bonded pair for the D'Angelos, he'll have to do an assessment.
Today, Rashi and I are going to be assessing the knowledge of the 6 classic cues, which are sit, stay, down, come, leave it, and loose leash walking. I want to make sure that we're not separating them too much from one another in the beginning. And Rashi is there to help me hold one while I work with the other.
Let's see what we know. Yes. Well, that was a good coming when called. Let's see if we can do a sit. Yes. That was good. What about a down from there? Let's do it down. Yes.
Wow.
Love it. Love it. What about a stay?
So far, so good. Someone's worked with you before, Thor.
Yes.
With Thor, he actually impressed me. As little as that guy is, he has a huge brain.
What about a leave it? Yeah, I didn't think so. I got you on one of them.
Leash walking actually was okay.
Yes.
He needs a little bit of work with that, but all in all, good foundation. Now moving to Sydney.
Let's see if you're as good as your brother.
It's kind of the same thing as Thor.
Yes.
You can definitely tell they're two birds of a feather.
What about a stay? Not bad. You're kind of like your brother. Okay, so far so good.
One of the major differences between Thor and Sydney was the leash walking.
Let's see if we can walk a little bit on leash. What about it?
She just kind of sat or lied down and didn't want to follow. So it's going to take a little bit of work to get her comfortable, but they're going to be really fun to work with. I'm really excited to get these two out in the real world and see what they can do.
It'll take some time.
Cute, though.
Yeah. All right, guys. Let's call it a day.
All right. Come on.
Come on, Sydney.
Exhausted.
Coming up, Eric and Rashi face the challenge of finding a home for both Sydney and Thor.
Typically, when you're working with a bonded pair to get them adopted and they're a little bit older, it takes some time to find that adopter.
Here's a health and wellness moment from Cosequin. Service dogs like Twig can provide life-changing assistance to their human companions. But as these dogs age, joint issues can hamper their ability to carry out the tasks that they've been trained to perform, affecting their overall quality of life as well. Signs of potential joint issues that all pet parents should look out for include stiff and swollen joints, limping, slowness in getting up after lying down, and difficulty climbing stairs. If your dog exhibits symptoms of joint issues, a veterinary exam is recommended to help diagnose any possible medical conditions and determine an appropriate treatment plan. Eric and Rashi recently rescued Sydney and Thor from the shelter. Since they're a bonded pair, Rashi has been looking for a home that will take the two dogs together.
I found a wonderful family today. It's a couple that's retired in San Diego.
Oh.
They're looking for 2 dogs,
Yeah.
and they're looking for small dogs.
You guys are small. You guys are multiple. This could be a good fit. Typically, when you're working with a bonded pair to get them adopted and they're a little bit older, it takes some time to find that adopter. So I was really pleasantly surprised that she actually may have found a family.
The next day, Eric and Rashi sit down to video chat with Tony and Patricia D'Angelo.
Hi. Hello. How are you?
Good.
We're really excited to get a chance to talk to you this morning. Can you tell me a little bit about yourselves?
I'm retired. My interests include ceramics and piano.
I'm retired too. I like to walk, I like to garden, I like to read, and I do volunteer work.
Tell me a little bit about your previous history with dogs. Have you had dogs before?
We've had 2 dogs. Gus was the cockapoo, good as gold, and Louie was a bright little dog.
Gus and Louie brought Tony and me so much joy and never a dull moment with the humorous things and sweet things that they would do.
It was very sad with Gus because towards the end, he wasn't the same. It wasn't our Gus anymore. And he was very confused, would bump into walls. And then we just had Louie. He lived to be almost 17, and the last couple of years he had diabetes, but he was able to live with it. And because he was such a fighter, it was very hard to see our last dog pass.
So what would it mean for you guys to get maybe another 2 dogs into your household?
It's like bringing life into the house again.
What breed of dogs are you looking for? Do you have something specific in mind, size, anything like that?
We want small dogs because we want to take them with us when we do things. If we want to go on an airplane, we can take them on the plane with us.
Because we're older, we think that it'd be nice to get older dogs as well, just so that they're friendly and like to walk.
I know you like taking them for walks around your neighborhood. Do you ever use one of the strollers or backpacks or anything like that?
We do. We have a very nice stroller that will actually accommodate both of them.
I want to make sure that Sydney and Thor would potentially want to join them on these little excursions, whether it's a walk or they're in carriers of some sort. We did just rescue a pair of dogs that have bonded together. We think they'll be a good fit for you, but we're still assessing their temperament. But can I keep you posted on the progress?
That'd be great.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Typically, there's not a lot of people interested in older dogs, especially 2. So this could be a good fit for them. It was a pleasure speaking with you. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Great, thanks.
Thank you very much.
All right, bye.
Coming up next, Eric begins Sydney's and Thor's training, but soon discovers that one of them would rather lie down on the job.
That's a nice little rollover.
Bonded pair Sydney and Thor have been adjusting to life at the ranch. After receiving lots of love and attention, Eric has earned their trust.
All right.
He now thinks they're ready to begin training on the 6 classic cues.
Today I'm going to be working on sit and down with Thor in our training yard.
Let's see if we can get into a sit, okay? Yes.
He's really responding well to the lure. Yes. And eventually working up to a hand signal. Yes. So now working towards that verbal cue, as I offer that hand signal, I'm just saying sit.
You sit?
And I'm really happy that he's starting to pair the 2 together. While he's in that sitting position, I just take a treat and I lure down to the ground.
Good.
And then I lure out so it kind of stretches his body out.
Eric then introduces the hand signal for down.
Go down?
Yes.
Good job.
Great foundation for Thor. I'm really excited to see what else he has in him.
You want to take a little break? All right, let's go.
Next, Eric works with Sydney on the coming when called and sit cues.
All I wanted her to do is target my fingertips when working with her on coming when called.
All right, Sydney.
She's coming over, touching my fingertips, and then immediately rolling over and submitting, and I'm petting her chest and belly just to start to build more of that trust.
Oh, so cute. That's very cute, but that's not what we want to do.
I just have to kind of hang that treat over her head a little bit longer to get her engaged, to make sure she doesn't default into that rollover.
Yes. Oh, good job. Very proud of you.
Because she's such a timid dog, the fact that she's able to come over and touch my fingertips to get the reward is really awesome. By the end of our training session, Sydney seemed very happy. We actually ended with some belly rubs, so it was really cool.
During a training break, Eric and Rashi review pictures of Tony and Patricia's home.
They have a yard, there's a grass area, looks nice and enclosed. Oh, I think this is gonna be great.
Yeah.
Pleased with what he sees, Eric continues training, and soon Sydney and Thor have mastered all 6 classic cues.
Okay, guys. Yes, very good.
To mark the achievement, both dogs receive silver medals.
Oh, good job, guys. We're all set.
Up next, Sydney and Thor discover new modes of transportation. Here's a health and wellness tip from Cosequin. We work hard to keep our pets healthy, but did you know that having a pet can help you stay healthy? That's right. Studies have shown that having a pet can lower blood pressure, ease symptoms of depression, reduce bone loss, and increase blood circulation. Plus, walking a dog can help us stay physically active and promote weight loss. Lucky Dog is presented by Cosequin Joint Health Supplements. Dynamic duo Sydney and Thor may be small in size, but they've made great strides in their training. Now it's time for Eric to prepare them for life with their future family.
Because Patricia and Tony mentioned that they used to take their old dogs in a stroller, I want to see if Sydney and Thor can also do that so they can still enjoy that activity. So I get to take them to a park, and I think they're really enjoying being strolled around, just loving life, looking around. I'm comfortable enough that if Patricia and Tony want to utilize a stroller, Sydney and Thor will be a good set of companions.
Since Patricia and Tony love to travel and want to take their new dogs with them, Eric and Rashi acclimate Sydney and Thor to car travel.
Guys, you're doing so good.
Eric also works to acclimate the dogs to travel carriers so they can go on flights.
First thing I want to do is let them investigate and treating them as they investigate the cases.
Very good, guys. Good job.
Sydney and Thor are doing great in these. I think they value them as like their little den. I'm ready to actually get these cases closed up.
Nice and easy. Nice and easy.
Once they seem to be settled nicely, I'm able to move about the training space.
Okay.
It's really cool to see them acclimated not only to the case and just being inside of it, but also being mobile.
Down. There we go.
Sydney and Thor have passed their training with flying colors, which means they have earned their gold graduation medals.
Good job, guys.
Coming up, Sydney and Thor begin their next chapter in life.
We fell in love with them right away. Love at first sight.
When Lucky Dog returns. Lucky Dog is presented by Cosequin Joint Health Supplements. A short time ago, Sydney and Thor were stuck in the shelter. Not only were their futures uncertain, but there was no guarantee that the bonded pair would be adopted together. Luckily, Eric and Rashi rescued them and found a family that was eager to give both of them a home together.
Today's a big day for Sydney and Thor. Today we're meeting Patricia and Tony at the park.
Hey, Patricia. Hey, Tony.
Hi.
How are you guys doing? Patricia and I sat down at this picnic table, and who do we see but Rashi and Eric and 2 little dogs. What a great surprise.
Say hi, Sydney.
They were very cute and very lovable, and we fell in love with them right away. Love at first sight.
What do you guys think?
I'm happy.
Yeah?
We've been waiting to meet them. Sydney has the cutest ears. They're a completely different color from the rest of her. Nature couldn't have done a better job with that. Thor, he's just like a little boy. Really cute.
Well, do you guys think you can take it from here?
Yeah, I think they're a great match.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm looking forward to it.
With the match confirmed, it's time for Eric and Rashi to say goodbye.
Bye-bye, Sydney. Oh. Bye-bye, Thor. Bye-bye. Oh, thank you.
As much as I love them both, I'm so thrilled that we found a couple that has the time for them and is so excited to have 2 new furry companions to join their home.
Thank you. All right, be good guys, okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, raring to go.
Mr.
here.
Thor, Miss Sydney, you're in good hands.
Say bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks
again. Thanks.
Okay.
Okay,
Bye.
thanks again.
Thank you.
It's been about 8 months since we've had a dog in our life. And now having these 2 dogs to take care of is something that's important to us.
Sydney and Thor will improve our life in many ways. I can see us sitting on the sofa, watching TV in the evening, going for neighborhood walks.
I think the future looks great for Sydney and Thor. I know that they're going to get the love that they deserve.
From hopeless to a home. That's our mission. One dog at a time.